18. Michigan gets it done today against Maryland. Zach, it was the game before the game. Michigan came in, handled its business today. It was very efficient performance from Cade McNamara. I think 250 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, and then you had the breakout performance from the former 5-star stud Donovan Edwards, 10 receptions, 171 yards, including that 77-yard reception to pay dirt. Just a great performance overall by the freshman. Let's start there.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was someone that was going to have to step up. Blake Corum out for the second straight week, although he did warm up and he did make the trip. But they weren't going to run Hassan Haskins into the ground in this game. And Edwards had an opportunity, especially in the passing game. You've covered him as a high schooler. You've known he's always been a great receiver. And it was working, and then it was working. And Maryland really never had a game plan for it, so they just kept going to him. So credit to him. Opportunities like that come up once in a while in the season, especially in games like this. He seizes it, and suddenly Michigan has another weapon, another player who has led the team in receiving. I think they're up to like 7 or 8 different players have led the Wolverines in receiving. So, yeah, great game. I thought the offense did everything it possibly could have done. I mean, TCB, take care of business. It's not nothing because Ohio State. It's hard not to look at Ohio State, but this is the kind of confidence building game they needed.
Yeah, especially like you said. TCB. I like that. I like that acronym. Zach. You like what you saw from the offense. They didn't do too much. They did enough, and it's a dominant win. And now you get to focus on Ohio State. But let's talk about the defense. I mean, I think you got to like the performance. I think they went through a little bit of a lull there in the third quarter. The game was already in hand, but then they switched their focus and sort of locked this game down here and to close it out here in the second half.
Yeah, in that third quarter, they were a little tired, right? Because there was the kickoff return for a touch. I mean, there were a couple of short possessions, so that plays a role. But I think ultimately this was an interesting test for the defense because similar to Ohio State, they have an athletic quarterback who can make big time throws. They have athletic receivers. They're not at Ohio State's level, but there's enough parallels that this is kind of a good warm-up test. And I thought the pass defense did a really nice job. I think the one thing would be, can you close on some of those pressures and getting more sacks? That's something Michigan's done well all season, but they haven't faced too many athletic quarterbacks like C.J. Stroud or Talia tonight. And so, yeah, I thought it was overall a good performance. Obviously, there's things you want to fix, but similar to the offense, you go into next week and you're feeling better. You're feeling more confident. You're feeling more capable of what you can do as a defense.
Yeah, the whole Tagovailoa to his second lowest passing yardage of the season. That's something to be, you got to hold that.
A lot of that was when the game was out of hand too.
Absolutely. So you're going in more of a base coverage, letting them pass. Now we can switch our focus to the Buckeyes. You got the game coming up. It's the biggest game in Ann Arbor since 2003. It's hard to think that you were a young lad then. I was in college. Things have changed. We have grown up. We are grown men now, and now Michigan has a chance to make some history here, to finally get Jim Harbaugh that signature win that's eluded him in his career. This is by far the biggest game of his career, and it's at home. He's had this game. He's had top 5 matchups against Ohio State, but it's always in Columbus. Michigan finally gets Ohio State at home. I know they're probably going to be double-digit underdogs, but what does Michigan have to do to get it done here next Saturday?
Well, I think the first thing is that, shout out to Michigan. They went in when no one thought that they would get this far. They went in and had these same standards. They didn't lower their standards. They weren't saying, let's shoot for 10 wins, let's go for 9-3. Jim Harbaugh, to his players in the locker room after this game, he says to them, this is what we want. This is the exact situation that they want. And really, that should be Michigan's goal every year. Because, Ohio State, they're always going to be good. But the rest of the Big Ten, if you're a good Michigan team, you should control the Big Ten. You should be going into that Michigan-Ohio State game with everything on the table. And that's exactly what they have. As far as Ohio State, I know that this is going to be a tough battle for the Wolverines. But the fact is, I mean, Michigan is probably the best team that they've faced all season.
Absolutely.
Right? Maybe Oregon too, but it's also at home. I guess just kind of more of the same and just hope for the best. I mean, it's.
I think we're going to be expecting a crowd that we haven't seen, maybe similar, maybe as loud as the Washington game earlier in the year, maybe even louder. It's going to be quite the scene. This is what college football is all about. Like the player said in the post game, Cade McNamara said, this is a reason why you come to Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is about coming to Michigan, you got to win this game eventually, right? Ohio State's had the magical fairy dust winning this game, especially the close games. They always find a way to make that one extra play that Michigan doesn't make. Can Michigan make it happen this year?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to wait and find out. We're not going to give any predictions right now. Make sure you stay tuned for all our coverage and more on MichiganInsider.com.